Dear ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Almaz Jolamanov, and I'm happy to welcome you at the World Investor Week in the Astana International Financial Center. This year, just like as in 2022, we will have the World Investor Week online. For your convenience, translation services would be available into Russian and Kazakh languages. To choose language, please use your navigation panel in the language interpretation button, which is indicated as the globe icon. As you know, World Investor Week is a series of educational events aimed at raising awareness about investor education and investor protection. And we are honored to have two distinguished speakers today, Chief Executive Officer of Astana Financial Services Authority, Mr. Mukhtar Bubeyev, and also Chairman of the Committee on Retail Investors of IOSCO, Mr. Pasquale Munafo. I'm now pleased to hand over to Mr. Mukhtar Bubeyev, Chief Executive Officer of Astana Financial Services Authority. Mr. Bubeyev, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Almas. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased to welcome all of you to the 2021 World Investor Week in the Astana International Financial Center. The World Investor Week is a global campaign to raise awareness about the importance of investor education and investor protection. This is the fourth consecutive year as the Astana Financial Services Authority holds this event under the auspices of the International Organization of Securities Commissions. Why is it important to promote investors' education and protection? Well, first of all, financial literacy remains a global concern. The 2020 OECD survey on adult financial literacy indicates that only 53% of adults were able to demonstrate minimum financial knowledge. Second, during the pandemic, many new investors, especially young people, started trading online. And social media is used by influencers giving unauthorized advice to retail investors that cannot understand the risks related to these products. Third, new instruments are being created every day, especially in crypto space and sustainable finance. So if you are an investor or consumer of financial services, we encourage you to follow the IOSCO recommendations to be a smart investor, especially to avoid get-rich-and-can't-lose schemes, to verify that an investment professional is licensed and conduct research on the product that you are investing in, to understand the risks of all investments, and to never invest based solely on the celebrity endorsement. This week we will hold 17 events, which will be focused on informing about investment opportunities and risks, including fraud and scams prevention. We will be speaking about financial literacy, about informing and how to become a smart investor. We will be speaking about innovations in financial markets such as digital assets and sustainable finance. We have invited domestic and international experts to share their experiences in the field of stock market, consumer investment protection, financial technology, green and Islamic finance, financial instruments, and continuing professional development. I hope this will be a very interesting and productive discussion. And with this introduction, I would like to welcome all participants and announce this World Investor Week in 2021 in AFC officially open. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukhtar. World Investor Week in the Astana International Financial Center is the part of the global World Investor Week held annually under the auspices of International Organization of Securities Commission. For this purpose, we have our next speaker, Pasquale Munafo, who is the chairman of the Committee on Retail Investors of IOSCO, who will share with us IOSCO's recent activities and recent work on retail investor protection. And I'm pleased to hand over to Mr. Pasquale Munafo.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Pasquale Munafo. I'm really honored to join this opening ceremony as the chair of the IOSCO C8 of Retail Investors, and grateful to Mr. Bubeyev, Mr. Zolomanov, and the Astana Financial Service Authority for the kind invitation. I had the great pleasure to be physically in Astana in 2018 for the launch of your first edition of the World Investor Week, and I treasure wonderful memories of that journey. So after 3 years, and I would say in a period particularly challenging for all of us, considering the impact of the pandemic, I'm more than happy to witness the ever-growing expansion of the Kazakh financial market in terms of trading volume and number of trading members at the Astana International Exchange, of equity and debt capital raised by companies, of issues of security, as well as of many foreign companies which open their offices inside the country. Also thanks to the activity of the Astana International Financial Center and of the Astana Financial Services Authority. So from an international perspective, it is very important to have areas of developments for financial markets, as in Kazakhstan. And as such, at any time new investment opportunities arise, it's crucial to have a parallel growth of the financial culture of the people involved, in particular of the retail investors. And it is for this main reason that IOSCO, through its Committee 8, decided in 2017 to launch the so-called World Investor Week, that, as you already said, is a week-long global campaign promoted to raise awareness of the importance of investor education and protection, and to highlight the various initiatives of securities regulators in these two critical areas. So IOSCO securities regulators and other IOSCO members from all around the world undertake a range of activities, such as offering investor-focused information and services, promoting contests to increase awareness of investor education initiatives, organize workshops and conferences, and conducting local campaigns in their jurisdictions, in most of the cases through digital or virtual means. So it's worth reminding that the World Investor Week has two primary objectives, namely to disseminate key messages that support investor education, investor protection, and financial literacy, and second, to promote lending opportunity for investors. So in terms of key messages, the World Investor Week campaign has always dedicated attention to the concept of smart investor, to the basic of investing, and to the digitalization. With particular regard to the 2021 campaign, two new themes have been added, that are sustainable finance and the prevention of frauds and scams, which have gained ground in the last couple of years for a number of reasons and represent two areas of needed insights for retail investors. So more than 100 jurisdictions are launching their initiatives in the WIV 2021, as well as several global and regional organizations which are endorsing or supporting the World Investor Week. That is the case, among the others, of the G20 under the Italian presidency, the World Bank Group, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the CFA Institute, the Financial Planning Standards Board, and many others. So since the last year, the C8 also engaged in the organization of the so-called global webinars with some of its members, which are initiatives offered to a worldwide audience during the World Investor Week, with the aim to contribute to make the World Investor Week even more recognizable and respected worldwide. So among the themes proposed this year, particular attention has been given to the topics I mentioned before, that are sustainable finance, with a global webinar organized by Consob and scheduled today, and the prevention of frauds and scams, with a global webinar organized by the Jersey Authority on Thursday. So getting back to your World Investor Week, according to the program publicly available, the central theme of the campaign is promotion of investment intelligence. So it will devote it to understanding the basics of investing, smart investing, sustainable finance, fraud and scam prevention, financial literacy and education. So the initiative will be held in the format of webinars, live session on social network, and online panel session, following the trend starting during the last year World Investor Week because of the pandemic, with the speaker also coming from an international context and expert in the relevant field of focus of the event. So the offer of educational activities is very comprehensive, and there are all the conditions for a very successful campaign in Kazakhstan. So thus my conclusive remark is in the form of a wish of a fruitful, wonderful and safe week, with a special thanks to all people involved and the commitment they took to organize and make this work. It is something that I should be proud of, and after all, the daily work of many of us should be, and for most of us is so, like holding the World Investor Week each week of the year without a break. So again, have a fantastic World Investor Week, and hope to see you soon in an in-person event in Kazakhstan, in Italy, or somewhere else in the world. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Munafo. We really appreciate your time for participation in the opening of the World Investor Week. Thank you for sharing the update on IOSCO activities. And we wish success to IOSCO and the Committee on Retail Investors in this important mission. With this, the opening ceremony of the World Investor Week in the AIFC comes to closure. Please, dear participants, stay tuned, as in a few minutes we will start our first event, a webinar, Finance for All, Know How to Be a Smart Investor. See you in a few minutes at 10:30.